The Pentagon tonight says U.S. Special Forces attempted to rescue James Foley and failed. The American journalist was held hostage in Syria for nearly 2 years before his gruesome death by ISIS. Foley's murder has sparked widespread outrage and disgust for the ultra-violent group responsible. Barack Obama said today the world is appalled. Shocking and depraved were the words used by David Cameron. And the UN Secretary General said it was an abominable crime. And today, Foley's parents spoke out about their son. For all that, we go to Nala Ayed in London.
When word came out, many would not believe it. But the sinking conclusion today is that James Foley, journalist, civilian, and American, is dead. For the family, a heartbreaking end to 2 years pleading for his return.
He was strong, courageous, loving to the end. I mean, we just hardly recognize our little boy. I mean, he was just a hero,
and
you know.
And you know from the videos, his last words were, "I wish I had more time to see my family."
Foley's beheading at the hands of an ISIS militant captured on video is too grotesque to show. An apparent message to the U.S., it's prompted a storm of denunciations and a seething message back from the U.S. president.
No just God would stand for what they did yesterday and what they do every single day.
A rude awakening on both sides of the Atlantic. For the British Prime Minister called off holiday, the sinking realization that the killer may be a fellow countryman.
Now, we have not identified the individual responsible on the video, but from what we've seen, it looks increasingly likely that it is a British citizen.
Listen to the killer's voice.
This is James Wright Foley, an American citizen of your country.
What sounds to experts like a London accent. An intensive hunt is now underway here to identify him, and fresh worries about just how many British men are fighting along with him. ISIS is no stranger to hostage takings or to beheadings. The victims, though, have mostly been Syrians. Foley's murder, an apparent retaliation for a U.S. airstrike campaign that's put the group on the defensive.
Because it's not worth your life. It's not worth...
Foley understood the dangers, but was drawn to conflicts by the people who must suffer through them. And that is how his family want him remembered, deeply caring and courageous until the end. Despite the threats, Obama says his Iraq strategy will not change. 14 more airstrikes were announced against ISIS today. Still, Obama says the job of eliminating ISIS is for the Middle East governments and people, though there could be more pressure on Washington and London to join in. David.
All right, Nala, what more do we know about this attempt to free James Foley?
Well, we're learning tonight for the very first time that there was a daring U.S. Special Forces mission to try to rescue Foley and other hostages inside Syria earlier this summer. Officials, though, say that it was not successful because when they landed, the hostages were not there. We're also learning from Foley's former employer that a letter was sent to the family by the militants last week saying that he would be killed because of the airstrikes. They pleaded for mercy, but clearly the group went ahead anyway. David.
Okay, thanks very much, Nala.